Hi, I'm Paul Foxcroft, and you're watching Questing Time. And if you can believe it, this is episode 12, part 1. The party have just fought a couple of carrion crawlers and made their way inside a dungeon complex immediately beneath the town of Ravensholm. And as soon as they've entered, 3 of the group have gone mad. The amazing Claire can no longer speak, the rough knight is over emotional, and the Reverend Hardcore has become sort of dickhead heroic, weirdly leaving Phillin blanks, the member of the party who's largely regarded as being insane, as the only sane one. But don't worry, it's going to get much worse. A quick note, you'll notice that there are a lot more donations, subscriptions and cheers and other financial interactions from the audience during this episode. And the reason for that is that we recorded this episode at the end of the first week of Black Lives Matter protests in 2020, and we donated all of that to Black Lives Matter UK. The audience raised just shy of £500 during this 3-hour episode. I think we rounded that up, and then Rufus doubled it. But the long and the short of it is this. If you can afford to donate a little bit of money to Black Lives Matter UK, you'll find a link immediately beneath me right now in the description. If you can afford to do that now. And then come back and watch what I genuinely think is one of the best episodes of Questing Time in Season 1. I hope you enjoy the show. We'll see you at the end. 12 weeks ago, the players were hired by a woman called Mordaunt Thrubwell to track down a book. They scurried off to the town of Ravensholm to do that, found the town assailed by the undead, and variously, over a couple of weeks, made their way through the undead minions, defeating them, and then doing absolutely no follow-up as to discover how an entire town was swarmed by more undead than there were inhabitants of that town. They've since taken ownership of a local theatre, rescued a missing owlbear, and ignored the work of a series of apparent murders happening beneath their very noses. But they have recruited quite a lot of pals, ranging from Skulks, the skeletal bartender, to the Goblin Improv troupe that lives in the basement of the Phoenix Theatre, known only by their now performative name thanks to Suicidal Muppet. Whose goblin is it anyway? They are absolutely terrible.
I always say no.
They do. Who else have you also attracted? You also have the group has also or is in the process of getting a pet boar trained as a mount, whose name is
Mr. T.
Mr. T. That's right,
Tinkles.
Mr. Tinkles, the urinating pig. And Matt, in a fit of competence, used his spells to bind himself to an imp, a devil. A low-level devil as his familiar, currently using the name Neil, which is not his real name. Neil is also with the group in the dungeon and might also be affected by some of the dungeon's magic as to change his behaviour. We'll find out. Last session, the party realised they had to investigate the what's the word I'm looking for? The catacombs beneath the town. Spent almost 2 hours offending shopkeepers, and then finally made their way. My favourite one was the 20-minute haggling process of trying to buy some daggers, only to discover that everyone already has quite a number of daggers, and that was a waste of literally everybody's time. They then made their way through a series of dug tunnels out underneath the town, I should say. And then encountered in a cave a couple of large caterpillar-like beasts known as carrion crawlers, which they were very bad at fighting, principally because Briony's character Claire brought much of the cave down on top of the group. If anything, helping the beasts get into hand-to-hand combat or mandible-to-hand combat with the rest of the team. They then made their way through the caves and found the entrance to a dungeon complex that had been dug out from the inside. So not the entrance proper, but rather an exit made by whatever had been contained within the dungeon prior. Having entered the dungeon, we discovered that Claire, the amazing Claire, rapidly lost the ability to communicate verbally. The rough knight began to sob uncontrollably, and something else happened to the Reverend Hardcore, but we didn't get a chance to explore what. The characters are currently in a small, unlit room, which is, I'll look at my notes because they're thorough, which is 20 foot by 20 foot, a door leading off to the right, a door leading off ahead of them. Behind them, a steep tunnel leading to a cave where they've entered through. And they're in here. There is a dead body on the floor in front of them that looks like it's been severely, it's been smashed up by something. Ahead of them, the dark. To the right, the dark. In the room they're currently in, the dark. And I believe we'll pick it up there. As we left it, I believe Briony was pointing at the corpse and muttering nonsense, and Rufus was sobbing directly at Phillin, if memory serves. Madame et Monsieur, questing time. So
the Rough Knight's crying presently.
Yes.
Then Claire doesn't understand she can't be understood and is going to try and hug him.
Claire does not understand that she's not talking in common.
Yeah. So but I will approach saying something. Because
don't come too close. These spikes are awful.
okay.
He raises a good point, Claire. Do you hug him?
Yeah, I'm still gonna try.
I just want to commend Dove in the Sand for trying to do music in the chat.
Right, feedback, isn't it?
Yeah. Raises a good point. Doing our best. Ah ha ha ha. Sorry, I can't do all of it.
Bear in mind, you could only sing in gibberish.
Oh. I'm sorry, because hurdy-gurdy-gurdy, it's definitely not. Well, do I need to roll to hug?
I'm going to say yes, because he's wearing spiked armor. So, yes, you'll need to roll to hug and not injure yourself. It's a dexterity saving throw, I'll say.
Dexterity saving. Well, I think it's dexterity gone +4. 20, a rough 20.
Then yes, you manage to. It looks weird because you're having to fold yourself around his armor, but you manage to give the Rough Knight a hug, which I strongly suspect is only going to make the sadness worse. Meanwhile, what is happening? Bear in mind, this is all happening in the dark for at least two of you. The Reverend Hardcore has you cast the spell Light on something, and I can't remember what
it was on me, and then I got too far away from it, so it went out.
I thought we redid it at the end of the last session so you could see what was going on in the room.
Yeah, I feel like you did.
I did. I can't remember what I cast on. Can I say I cast it on a torch?
Sure, which seems insanely redundant, but by all means.
Yeah. Yeah. We can see what is happening.
You can.
We can see. Okay, so we can see.
You can see Ruff sobbing. You can see Claire spouting gibberish. I can't remember if we did this roll at the end of the last session or not. I'm going to assume we didn't. Can everybody make perception checks, please?
Yes, please.
7.
13.
Nice.
19.
10.
Lovely. Briony and Rufus. So they're behind. If you assume that behind you is the tunnel through which you entered, directly ahead of you is what appears to be a staircase leading up for a small distance, and then it's lost to gloom. And to your right is a doorway with a small staircase leading down, and then darkness overwhelms your ability to see. From ahead of you, Briony, you can hear what sounds like stone dragging against stone in like short bursts. I don't know if this will work if I do this.
It does work. It's really creepy.
Works a bit too well.
Yeah.
Great. Rufus, you can hear that, and you can also hear a sporadic and specifically irregular sort of dripping sound coming from the downward staircase to the right.
Adam Bada?
I'm sorry,
I've
what?
forgotten. I've forgotten.
Can I want to because I'm so upset hearing that noise. I want to stumble back out of this room to where Phillin is.
Okay. Oh no, Phillin had come into this
I'm
room.
in there.
He's
Oh,
the only one who made his saving throw.
I'd like to stumble out of this room then, basically.
Into where?
Where we came from.
Okay, back up the sort of scree, this incline.
Because we didn't go very far in. It's not like a whole thing. It's just.
No. You very much can make your way back into the cave.
Yeah, I just want to see if anything changes if I do that.
Nope. Except that the cave system you're in reminds you very much of home.
Yeah. Well, it would.
Yeah.
I'm still sobbing, or close to.
I think I'm going to move towards the noise.
Which noise? You only heard the one.
I only had the one.
I'm gonna go after Ruff as well to check if he's all right. So we'll be going opposite ways, I assume, Briony.
Great. Once again, almost immediately splitting the party.
Yeah.
Briony, correct me if I'm wrong. You have dark vision, yes?
Yes.
Great. So as you climb this staircase, you see there's a much larger room ahead of you. It's about 15 foot of stairs.
I'll just say, Paul, I do tell the others to come with me, but
what does that sound like?
How about that?
With that, Claire makes her way up the staircase, and you lose sight of her. You climb about 15 foot of stairs, and the room opens up before you. This is a much bigger room with a couple of pillars supporting it. Old, sort of, slightly. The stone is all sort of. I can't think of the right word. Ochre in color. And ahead of you, you can see immediately in front of you is a armored. He maybe was a human, but it's another corpse, and you can see 3 or 4 of them throughout the room, along with a couple of broken statues. You can also see from across the other side of the room, one of the statues is slowly limping its way towards you. One of its legs has been smashed, and it's missing an arm, but it is very much sort of making its way with a beeline towards where you are. This room is not illuminated. And you get the impression. No, I'm sorry. No. So hang on, just before I go any further, you can find 60 feet of dark vision. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what you can make out is 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so you can see ahead of you there are a couple of pillars, two broken statues, like really smashed up. 4 corpses that look like they have been pummeled to death, and you can see the statues. A lot of the statues have blood caking their hands.
Okay.
And on the left-hand side, you can see an archway, but you can't see through it. Like it's unnaturally dark through that archway.
Okay.
You should be able to see into it with your dark vision. You just can't.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna be sensible and go back and tell the guys what I've seen.
Great. So Claire makes her way down down the staircase back into this room. The only current person in this room is the Reverend Jack Hardcore.
It's out of the
Typical. Looks like it's up to me. Out of my way, devil child. I pushed Claire out of the way and I stride forward to where she went.
Okay. What have you got light cast on?
I've got it cast on my torch, haven't I?
Okay, cool. So in your left hand, the torch, in your right hand, the shield of heroes.
Yep.
Great. Then you you climb the stairs and step out into this larger chamber. See, as I described, a selection of corpses that have been pummeled to death. And ahead of you, maybe 30 feet away now, is this statue dragging itself towards you. You can hear now, because you're in the room, there is also a second thing in the darkness beyond, also making similar dragging noises.
Can I try speaking to them?
100% you can.
Okay. You! Do you know who you're talking to? You're talking to the Reverend Jack motherfucking Hardcastle, okay? So you better stop your business so we can have a chat.
The statue gets closer. And closer. 15
That's
feet.
better. That's better.
It's 10 feet
Now
from you.
listen here. Okay, 2 meters.
5 feet.
Okay, I back away slightly and hold up my shield.
Okay, then I'm going to make it roll at disadvantage because you.
I have a shield.
Okay, right. It swings its enormous stone fist at you and it clangs off the shield with an enormous resonating wang.
Okay, that's your first warning. I'm going to ask you again.
Okay, would you like to roll for initiative, Richard, and by inference, everybody else?
Okay. Natural 1.
I got an 18.
14.
7.
Okay, give me a moment. Sorry, can I just go? Matt, what did you get? He said, that's the one person who's
18.
drinking.
18.
Matt, 18. Rich?
Well, I got a natural 1, and then my thing says -1.
So 0. Briony?
14.
And Rufus?
8.
Lovely stuff. And oh wow. Lovely stuff. So, before anything else happens, this statue again swings this. How do I put it? It was once the statue of a simple hand, and what it does is, it's just caked in blood and hair, and it's broken down. Like it's been attacked. You suspect this thing isn't on full hit points, but it's hard to guess because it's a statue. But it takes a big swing at you, and your armor class is
21.
20. What?
21, sir.
How come?
Because of the shield? I don't know.
I don't think that's the case, but I could be wrong. Hang on, wait.
Are you looking at your hit points?
I'm looking at my armor.
No, he's looking at his armor class. I think
Right.
he is correct. He is correct because you're wearing. No, you're not.
So you
That's
have to-
wrong.
Oh.
Hang on. No, it should be 19. Sorry, it's doubled up one of the bonuses in the maths there, and I don't know why it's done that. It's 19.
Okay. We'll call it 20?
No. But don't worry about it because it's still a miss. So this thing brings its fist down, and what you do is drop to one knee, put the shield over your head, and just absorb the blow. Again, there is another tumultuous bang. There is I'm going to address a thing really quickly. I don't know how to. I'm going to mangle your username, Connor Habliz. Hello. Your question about ruling in dice. If you join me on Wednesday night, we can talk about that at length. But this isn't a great time. This isn't a great time to have rules conversations. Wednesday night, 7:00 table talk. Be there.
Daddy's busy.
Yeah.
Paul explains rules where the rules we break.
So Richard, you absorb that
We
blow.
should tune into that.
Yeah, we really should.
But next up, Matt, on initiative 18, you are a reasonable distance from the fight, but you do hear two loud stone on metal bongs. And also, you can hear the Reverend Hardcore being weird.
Okay, Mr. Ruff, I've just come to check you're all right, but I've also just heard a big old clang, and I'm going to say this. I don't think everyone's acting as they should be, and I just wanted to say to you, Mr. Ruff, I know you're probably feeling bad about being nasty to Neil before, but it's okay. I think we should go the other way and see if Mr. Hardcastle and Claire are okay.
Realistically, that was 3 rounds of combat, but we'll let it slide.
I grabbed the halfling by the bunched up back of his pantomime horse's costume that's around his neck, and start running towards where I can hear a fight is occurring.
Fair enough. We'll fudge it for the sake of this. So, Matt, if you would like, we'll position you at the foot of the stairs by the time Ruff gets there, so you can see the Reverend Hardcore and the thing that's attacking it. So you can act. You're 15 feet away. You can act at that point, if you would like. What would you like to do?
Did you say this one was missing an arm or a leg?
This one's missing an arm and its leg is severely damaged.
Okay, I'm just gonna go on instinct and just aim a firebolt at its bad leg, because
how could
might
that go wrong?
topple it. Yeah, how could it go wrong?
Okay, make an attack roll, please.
It's a 2.
That's a hit.
What happens is, as you're being carried by Ruff, you summon into your hand, you conjure this mote of flame, and then it just kind of goes and falls. It goes about 3 foot, and then just rolls down the stairs to your own feet, where it goes tss, and disappears.
And I look at the stone thing and go, "That's a warning shot, buddy."
Through tears, I mutter, "I don't think he needs warning."
Briony, it is your turn.
Okay, so as soon as I started hearing fighting, I've already run towards where Rev is. And let me just check. The statues aren't above us and aren't going to fall on us.
They are not, but you are in a dungeon. So the situation is, there's a staircase. At the top of the staircase is the Reverend Hardcore, and directly in front of him is a statue that is wailing on him.
Yeah, I'm going to use
no wild magic on a cantrip. Shatter. Oh shit! That's a good call.
Yeah.
So Shatter, which I think it then gets to make a.
I do just have one question, Paul, because it is a verbal spell. Can I do it, or what will I actually do?
I'm going to say you can still do spell stuff, because it's less like you're trying to. Your thing is more about trying to communicate to other people than it is about
spell stuff.
Speech.
Okay.
So yeah. And also, you guys are having a hard enough time. Where are we? I make a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage because it is a construct. Poop. What do I need to beat?
Con 14.
Pish. 13. Roll your damage, please.
So that's 3d8. And then is it +6 for a spell attack? 7? 7?
Why would you be adding +6?
14, 15.
No. So it's if you're targeting the creature with the spell. So if you're aiming, then you roll your you roll to hit and then add that.
Okay.
Whereas this spell effect happens and then it's down to the creature to resist it.
Right, got you. So it was 3d8, which was 15.
Woo.
2 7s and a 1. Is my maths correct?
Right, so 15. Yes, 15. Lovely stuff. This thing, the cracks appear all across its surface. There's a resounding boom in the air as dust flies off of this thing. It looks like the opening titles of most anime.
And I look at it and go,
Language.
I instinctively just hold up for a high five.
Nice. At which point, lurching out of the shadows is a second one of these things. But it's going to not be able to hit anybody for at least a round because it's moving very slowly. Yes, both of its legs have been sustained quite a lot of damage, but this one it's been sculpted so it's holding a massive hammer. That hammer is caked in blood. Next up is Rufus.
I'd like to get my rope out.
Okay.
And I'm basically going to use my boots of leaping.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to jump. I know they're not called boots of leaping. Sorry.
The boots of striding and springing. But yeah. You can name. They're yours. You stole them. You can name them what you like.
They're boss boots.
Kinky boots.
Roo boots. I'm going to try and wrap this rope around the arms of the second. Like, basically tie it up like an old 1920s somebody being tied to a train track. Or like Luke on the AT-AT.
Okay.
That's basically what I'm going to try and do.
Okay, we'll call it you're effectively making a trip attack.
Yeah, but I want to get it around its arms so that it can't use its hammer or what have you.
Okay.
It's top half I'm going for.
Yeah, okay, you're basically trying to grapple it. Great, grappling. The rules everybody knows. So
Can
first of all, you'd have to
with the spiked armor.
Sorry.
For future reference, the Kuljarg with their spiked armor are all about grappling. And I know every week how much you talk about how much you hate grappling, but it's not
that I hate grappling. It's just I've got a genuine blind spot for how the rules for grappling work.
Anyway, that's what I'm going to try and do. I don't think I can hit it with axes and swords. If they're stone, it's not going to do much. So I'm just going to try and.
All right. Can you? Because you're going to have to run past the first one.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to jump over the first one.
Can you make an acrobatics check to avoid it getting a free swing at you as you run by?
Yeah. My acrobatics isn't great. Oh, it's not bad though.
No.
Yeah, 12.
12. I'm afraid it gets a free swing. Your armor class is?
14.
Ooh, that'll do it. So as you're running by, it just backhands you with this horrible, not gnarled, chipped wreck of a hand that it has, and slams into the side of your head for. That could have been much better. 8. 10 bludgeoning damage. You just feel that. It rings your bell as you run past.
Yeah.
But you are undeterred. And can you make an attack roll? Which is basically a strength roll with modifier, which is the same as an attack roll, to try and bind this thing with rope, and it's going to make a strength roll to oppose it.
Okay. Let me just double. Yeah. Okay. Oh!
What did you get?
24.
All right, I have. Guess what I've rolled?
23.
22. So yeah, you managed to loop the rope around this thing a couple of times. And what you wind up doing is basically slamming your foot onto this thing's chest to pin the rope down, and you're pulling the rope with your other hand. So you're on it. You're riding this monstrous statue.
Yeah.
And you're basically, you're wrangling it effectively. You are cowboy style, restraining this thing, and it's moving left and right and trying to buck you, but it's just not happening. Lovely stuff. Richard
Soames. I also just take a moment to appreciate how, even though we can all look the same, we can all be very different, because there's only one set of circumstances under which I would ever use the phrase cowboy style, and D&D is not it.
Great to hear. Next up, Richard Soames. It's your turn to bring smarts to the table.
Okay. Get ready for the Reverend After Hours. I'm going to just slam my shield into this thing. And I want to try and do the shit thing they do in action movies where they go, I was trying to have a conversation.
You can have advantage on this roll.
Cool. That is. Do I add my +5 to the attack, or is that to the?
You do.
Oh, cool. So that's 17.
That's a hit.
Sweet.
Roll his damage, please. Which I think is also 1d8 plus 5.
All right. Cool. Okay, that's 7. Great.
Tell a lie. It is 1d8. No, it's 1d8 plus 4. Sorry.
Okay, so 6.
6. Lovely. Although it's magical, so it takes all of that damage. Great. So, yes, you slam into this thing a bunch of times. What was it? Shouting. It was you were trying to have a conversation. And the top of initiative rolls around again, and it gets to attempt to attack Richard one more time. With a... will a 26 hit?
Oof.
I don't think that's probably enough, yeah.
Great. At which point, yes, it's as you're going, I was trying to have a conversation. It just rabbit punches you in the mouth with its good hand for 9, 10, 11, 12 damage.
Wow.
These things are reasonably dangerous. So yeah, that's its turn. Matt, you're still at the foot of the staircase where the Rough Knight dropped you.
Okay.
And what would you like to do, Matt?
Not one to be deterred from my failure. I'm going to see what just happened to the Rev and go, he was trying to have a conversation!
You might also have advantage on the next attack roll.
And I'm going to go
Laura bought a questing type shirt. Thank you.
I'm going to firebolt, and with advantage, a 19.
Excellent!
So,
Lovely stuff. And brilliantly
D10 plus
timed
5,
subscription
isn't it?
from Stupid User there.
where's my D10? If I hit, this is... Where's my D10? My damage will be for... not great. 4 plus 5, 8.
8, that's not bad, and it is a magical attack, so its damage resistances don't come into play. Sure, Richard, as the Reverend Hardcore is reeling back from that, a mote of flame burns past him, slams into this, the front of this thing, scorching it and knocking some more of the stonework away from its core, bringing us to Briony on initiative 13.
Yes. Well, I kind of
Wait,
used
15?
up-
I can't read my own handwriting, but you're in this order.
Yeah. I've used all my second level spell slots.
Oh
And
no.
First level, I've learned that Thunderwave can be quite dangerous in a cave environment. I learned that the hard way. So, what are they made of, Paul?
Stone.
Then can I use my decanter of endless water to try and erode them like a waterfall?
You can try.
I want to jump up above it and then kind of give it like erosion.
Sure.
I use my acrobatics to kind of jump onto its shoulders and then decanter the water onto its head.
Okay. I would. Make an acrobatics check to get onto it without it hitting you.
Geography style.
Okay.
You can have advantage because I'm assuming you're going to take a help action from the Reverend Hardcore by running up him.
Yes. 21 on the
21. Great.
That'll do it.
You vault, jump off the shield, and land on the shoulders of this statue.
Then I open the decanter of water to the top setting and say,
Yes, the vocally triggered magic item.
Oh.
Roll a d20 for me.
Oh.
Oh, no.
16?
Hang on a second. Let me just look a thing up. Okay. Yeah, sure. Make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh, God. 12 plus what's my dex? 16.
Okay, so a couple of things happen quite quickly. One is a jet of very powerful water flies out of your decanter, slamming into the creature's head at point-blank range, doing it some, but not a tremendous amount of damage, but some.
Waterfalls take
let's
longer.
Celebrate that, yes. You, however, are fired off of the back of this thing, but you managed to land on your feet behind it and keep the water trained on it. However, the statue falls prone, is knocked over, face down in front of the Reverend Hardcore, giving the Reverend Hardcore an attack of opportunity. So you get to make a free attack roll against it. And it is also... Oh, God, no, hang on. Yeah, well, let's resolve that first. Richard?
Okay. 11.
You get advantage because it's because it's prone and you're next to it.
In which case, 16.
That's a hit. Just. Roll your damage, please.
8.
8 damage. Great. Oh, brilliantly. You manage to. You bring your shield down on the back of the statue, shattering it in half. And the whole statue stops moving. Well, how do I put it? It stops being animated. But a side effect of the decanter of endless water is that the statue and you are pushed 15 feet away down a staircase. So, can you make a dexterity saving throw? Make a strength saving throw for me, please.
Just before I get washed away, can I just, for a split second, can I go, conversation over?
You absolutely can.
And then I got 16 on the dex save.
16, great. Oh, in which case, what you manage to do is you grab the walls either side of the doorway and brace as the statue and the rest of the water jet kind of move under you so you don't fall down the stairs and don't sustain further injury. And then the water shuts off. Bringing us to the second statue, which is trying to get rid of Ruff. Rufus, can you make a strength roll, please?
Yep. 16.
You are kidding. 14. So you have still managed to functionally restrain this thing, although it is bucking quite wildly for a statue with limited mobility. Rufus, it is your turn on initiative. The next initiative. It's your go.
Can I hit it with my hammer of breaching with one hand?
Yeah, so one-handed weapon.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. But I'd like to, somewhere within me, conjure like the full, like as magical as I can make this hammer.
Sure.
I want whatever its force for opening things is to be applied directly to the stone body of this.
Can I give him bardic inspiration, or is that possible when I've got gibberish?
You can. I'm going to let you use the features of your class. This is entirely a linguistic curse.
So does bardic inspiration mean that I get
you get to add
with advantage?
No, you get an extra 1d6 to add to the roll.
Thank you very much. You'd think I'd know that by now, wouldn't you?
I didn't, and it's my skill.
Briony has the option of literally looking it up. It is in fact in front of her.
I don't want to look down. Not right now.
Rufus, you've made a face.
Yeah.
What did you get?
You're breaking up a lot there, Paul. Sorry.
What did you roll?
Here. You mean including the D6?
What did you roll on the D20?
5.
In total?
No, with the D6,
fine.
It's 7.
Right. Well, the good news is that it's still grappled, but you have not managed to hit it with the hammer. You're still holding on to it with your left hand, flailing the hammer around wildly, and you just can't orchestrate yourself in such a way that you've got a good shot at it.
While sobbing.
while sobbing. So you're also kind of you're connecting with it, but not with the full force of a blow. You're sort of tapping it with a toffee hammer style as you go. Richard, it is your turn. You drop down into this. You drop down into the on top of the staircase to the water beneath it. What would you like to do?
Can I? How far away is it?
From you right now, it is about 25 feet, give or take.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my shield. I'm gonna take my shield and fling it at this thing.
Nice. Will you be shouting anything while you do?
Well, yes.
Great.
Let me think about it, and then I'll tell you.
I would like to start a conversation again.
Okay.
I'm only here for a chat.
I like to think in it. You go to throw it, you stop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now I don't feel like there's anything I can say. Okay, I say I'm throwing a shield at you.
Make your attack roll, please.
Okay, it was 7. Oh dear.
I should have given you bardic inspiration.
For a whole bunch of reasons. Cool. You shout, I'm throwing a shield at you, and then throw your shield off into the middle distance, where it pings off of a couple of pillars, and then flies back to your hand, where you grab it. Bringing us neatly to Matt at the top of the initiative again. You are at the... Oh, wait, you're at the bottom of the staircase. Can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Oh, God, yes. Oh, not bad. Let's see what's my dexterity. I think it's all right. Oh, yeah, 15 total.
15, great. So a lot of water and some anthropomorphized rubble pours down the staircase towards you. You, however, vault over it on your way up the staircase, sort of wall running from the left and to the right of the actual staircase itself, and arrive at the top of the staircase behind the Reverend Hardcore as he shouts, I'm throwing a shield at you, and it hurts the room. It is... What would you like to do?
First of all, because I'm so impressed with my own wall running, I do my own music, so I'm like, and I jump off just as I see that, and I go, nice warning shot, Mr. Hardcastle, and then I do the Phillin classic of firebolt straight at the other one.
Lovely stuff. Make your attack roll.
Oh, nice. 17 plus 5, so 22.
That's a hit. Roll that d10.
Yep. Oh, sorry, that was 17. Now, Paul, on my dice, because I've never rolled this before.
Yeah.
Is a 0 a 0, or is that just a 10?
No, it's a 10.
Yes, thank God. Right. Plus 5, 15.
You don't add the 5 to firebolt. It's just a
Let's
flat
just
die
add
roll.
it. Let's just add it.
So, yeah, okay, once more, you, having parkoured your way up, bring your hands together, summon a ball of flame, and fire it into the dark at this stone beast. Ruff, as you're wailing around, you just see a glow rapidly running towards you as little fireball slams into this thing's head right next to your face. Sparks scatter around. It looks super cool. And as you can see it now, because you've been fighting this in a half light and with your dark vision in black and white, you can see now that it's lit up. Its face, one side of its face is like smashed away and caked in blood. There's blood spattered all over this thing. This leads us to Briony.
Yes.
Claire.
Wow.
Amaze us.
How many of them are left? My first amazing question.
There's just one, and it's the one that Rufus is, for want of better terminology, riding.
Okay. Well, I think this is the time to do art. So...
A compelling argument.
I am going to use my meat cleaver to see if I can shape the statue into the shape of something else.
Ooh, okay,
Why,
yeah, sure.
why is there always these faces when I say a plan?
It's not the
make
plan.
make your attack roll, please.
Yeah. It's the specifics of the plan.
It's the tool I have. 20! Oh, a natural 20! I can't remember where my camera is.
It's a natural 20, friends. So roll your damage and then just double it.
Okay.
The cleaver, I
for
think
the
it's
cleaver.
1d8 plus 3? No.
It says 1d6 plus 1 dagger. It's got a picture of a dagger. And then it says 1d6 plus... What do I add? Plus 1 plus dagger.
Oh, that's interesting. It should be 1d8.
Okay, then I'll roll a d8.
Why has that changed?
Loads
So
has changed.
It's 1d8. In fact, it should be 1d8 plus 3.
Okay, so it's 4 plus 3.
So,
We all know what that is. I
so
don't.
that's 14. Lovely. Again, as you hit this thing, sparks fly off.
And I'm going for a Henry Moore style sculpture.
It's not fair to say that you achieved that. What you do is you smash into this thing with your cleaver, sparks fly away, chips of stone fly off into the dark. Can you make a wisdom saving throw, please?
I forgot about the cleaver. 9.
Great.
That's why we all made the noise, Briony.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Briony,
side effect.
you are in a room with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corpses. You know what to do. At which point the statue gets its go. Rufus, can you make a strength check, please?
Yeah. $17.
22.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah. So this thing just throws its arms aside. The rope breaks, and you are knocked away, but land on your feet a couple of feet away from it. And it's going to attack Claire because she's the one who most recently attacked it. Briony, your armor class, please.
13.
I've got a rough 20. So Briony, this thing turns around and just smacks you across the face for 7 damage. As this thing's huge stone, it's got, like I said, it has a stone hammer, and it connects, just hits you in the head with it, jarring you for a second and knocking you to one side. Rufus, bring the thunder.
I'm sick of this shit. I'm going to jump up and smash this thing in the head with my hammer of breaching.
Lovely stuff. Make your attack roll, please.
10.
I'm afraid that is a miss.
Oh, no
The way it works is you jump up and just kind of go bonk,
Yeah.
and there's a sort of hollow door knocker sound as you do it. Richard.
Okay. So I look at my shield and that didn't work last time. So I go,
Well, you missed.
oh, yeah, all right. I'm going to conjure my spiritual warhammer and send that flying at the beast.
Lovely. That's a bonus action, though, so you can also attack it this turn as well.
Can I also do with my shield?
Yeah.
I'll do the same. I'll try the same move again, but with a backup hammer. Natural 1. Good stuff.
Lovely stuff.
That's a hard castle.
So, Richard, roll the damage for your shield.
Yeah. Oh, it's really good. That's really good.
What'd you get?
6 plus the 4, isn't it? So 8. Nope, 10.
Briony, as you're staggering from being hit in the head with a hammer by a statue, a thin, blunt instrument flies across the room and hits you in the back for 10 damage. As you are knocked to the floor, face down in what used to be a human.
Do I know
Heads
this?
up.
Do you know what?
Do I know
You're
it's
gonna
his?
Start eating it because you've cleaver, don't you?
Yeah.
I already
Whereas
have.
Richard, your spiritual weapon, a spectral warhammer appears. Oh, and does make its attack roll. What does it do?
The shield was just a diversion.
Yeah, and manages to smack the statue around just in the torso for 8 damage.
Nice.
Bringing us back to the top of initiative. Matt, you are currently the other side of the room for all this action. Actually stood near Hardcastle. You've just seen this happen. You've seen Claire be knocked to the floor by the shield attack. You've seen... Sorry, yeah, you've seen that. Did someone... Everyone's just said, did you just see Jonah Hill? What happened? Was Jonah Hill on our stream briefly? What is occurring?
No, because we can see the stream.
I know, which is why I think we should have... Yes, someone's just saying yes, it was right before the Hulk Jonah Hill appeared. What?
As in, like a picture of Jonah Hill.
Let's get to the end of the... What? That shouldn't happen. I don't know why that's happened. Anyway, right, we'll get to it. Why is there a Jonah Hill gif? Anyway, focus, Paul.
Is that a bad sign or a super bad sign?
Not anymore.
On the money ball.
The rough night explodes. No, Matt, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I feel the presence of Jonah Hill fill me.
Wait, is Jonah Hill Phillin's god?
Oh. I really don't want him to be, but it feels like that's going to happen now. I feel a religious presence that I can only word as Jonah chilled to the bone. Excellent punning in the chat. I am Jonah chilled to the bone, and the only way I can warm it up is through my now working distance attack of Fireball, because why not?
I want to make it very clear. Firebolt. Fireball is a very different, significantly more problematic.
Sorry. Okay.
Spell.
Firebolt.
Yes.
Okay. And I rolled a 9. So yeah. Plus 5,
cool.
14.
14. You send a small mote of flame across the room, but narrowly miss the statue. Are you happy staying where you are? Do you want to move around?
At the moment, I'm all right. I don't think there's any reason for me to move. So, yeah. I'm okay.
I should also point out you have an option because you've used that. So you can't cast 2 spells at a turn, but you can cast a cantrip and a spell in a turn. Ooh. If you used one of your meta magic things to quicken spell, you could cast a 1st or 2nd level spell if you were inclined.
I am.
We haven't really made the most of your meta magic.
Sorry,
I am. But I feel like this cave is a place where wild magic's gonna happen. So
Matt, sorry, can I deal with this? I'm sorry, I think you've been put in a terrible position here. Paul, you seem to be explaining how to play Dungeons and Dragons, and that is obviously not why any of us are here.
True. My point is just that I want to make sure if you guys have abilities that you're aware of them and you have the option to use them.
I've been because I'm aware we've got a long way to go in this dungeon. I've been saving my spell slots.
That's
but
fine.
Also I'm worried about wild magic.
Sure, don't worry about wild magic. You chose it. Not all of the wild magic effects. Not all of the wild magic effects are bad. Some of them are good. Some of them are genuinely terrible.
This cave just seem to be plain funny. Yeah, Matt is worried about chaos at the moment for once.
Great. Briony, it is your turn.
Okay. So, let me have a look-see. Well, I am tempted to try and carve it again because I feel like my artistic mojo didn't quite come out in the last one.
Are you under the impression that you're in charge of your own turn? My question is, which of the corpses do you want to start eating?
Oh.
Just eat the one you got your face in.
Yeah, the one I've got my face in.
Right.
Don't stop till you taste dirt, Briony.
That'll take a while. You're in a stone chamber. Briony, please you gain 6 temporary hit points.
Gosh. I'm not sure I want them this way.
The good news is, it's not like none of this is rotten. It's all relatively fresh.
Oh, that's damn, I say as I'm eating. I shouldn't talk with my mouth full, but I am embarrassed by what I'm doing.
It's not the consumption of human flesh that's wigging you out, it's the poor manners.
Meanwhile, as the statue sees that Claire is otherwise occupied, Ruff, what is your armor class, please?
14.
Oh, fuck. 13. So this thing brings its hammer down, right, and all you do is you just go... and lean back. And it smashes the ground in between your legs, cracking the floor underneath your feet. It is now your turn.
I am sick to fucking death of this thing. I managed to rope it up, but I haven't hit it once. So
Take its legs out.
It's coming down hard.
Sure. Make that roll, friend.
Come on.
Half that die.
Yeah, baby! 22.
That is very much a hit. Please roll your damage.
It's a D8 plus something, isn't it?
Yes, it's plus your strength modifier.
Yeah.
Plus, yeah. But don't forget, you can roll twice and keep the best one because of your savage attacker feat.
Yes, I'd forgotten that. Thank
Would you like me to stop reminding you of the things you've picked?
No, I know. Thank you.
Very sassy tonight. It's sassing us all, Paul.
Yeah.
It's 9 from me.
9, which is is a magic. It takes all of that. Okay, Rufus, I would very much like you to describe how it falls apart.
Okay. So it's got rope either side of it. It's been wheeling around, but essentially, as its hammer comes down and hits between my legs, I've sort of surprisingly taken half a step back, so this thing just whistles past and like flutters the tips of my beard. And then as the hammer goes down, it gets what did it have? It was just its hand, wasn't it?
It's got a hammer in it, but the hammer is carved into its hand.
Okay.
And basically, you can see like it's got cracks, like at the it's got a couple of cracks at the joints where the joints are, and that's how it's moving around.
Yeah.
But it's clearly magically animated.
Yeah. So as it comes down and whacks, and the beard goes down in between the legs, the hammer's it was swinging so hard that the hammer actually lodges in the ground, and it has like a moment where it can't quite get it out, and in that half a moment its eyes flick up and meet mine, and I just smile widely at it and go, "You'll make a lovely drive." And down onto the crown of this thing's head, and there's a moment where it feels like nothing's happening, and then as it cracks, blue light just starts to flicker out of the cracks, and I'm crying, but I'm also now it's become a sort of almost a wept happiness, and so it goes crang, nothing happens, blue light starts to pour out, now I start crying as this thing just goes and semi-silently, like the sort of noise you might find if you ran over a concrete slab with a loved one. That's the noise it makes.
Lovely stuff. And as the dust and bits of statues settle around the room, with a sound like pennies hitting a drum, once again, silence fills the air, and you're left, all of you, standing in this room, except for Claire, who is kneeling down in a corner, chewing on the. Hang on. Literally eating a human heart like it's a hand fruit.
As she's snacking on grapes in the real world.
Yeah.
It's a great visual. I thought you were actually eating. Well, mime.
Her mime is very good. She's a very good. Briony's an accomplished performer. That's it. Part 1 is done. The party is out of that fight with those stone guardians. Not what they're called, but the players never found out what they were called, so neither will you. I've got so many notes like that. It falls to me to remind you to like and subscribe if you haven't already, to thank you for watching to the end of the video because that really helps us out with the algorithm, and to ask you one more time, if you can afford to donate to BLM UK, the link is in the description. Please do. And other than that, we'll see you next time for part 2.